Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of, I may have found out what was causing the problem, but I don't, yeah. It's going to be an interesting thing to try to fix, and I still don't know what to do with my hands, so there's that. But anyway, that aside, I think we have something to work towards right here, so I want to get in here. I want to fill in some of the dirt over here. We don't need this much real estate water-wise. We could probably come in here and fill in some of this area. We can get some more trees in here. I think we're doing fairly good on our overall water food stuffs, as you could see by this monstrosity over here. Probably could do some more with this, but I can't be bothered. Maybe we'll do it. I don't know. But I figured out what was causing this. This monstrosity is caused by this overflowing with the bad water. Because if we scroll down here and we rip this down, when this pops off and does bad tide stuff, this just goes up and fills up this reservoir up here and continues to pump out until this down here finally realizes that there's enough bad water behind it to actually open up and let the poo water through. So that's what was causing our, our pool over here to fill with poo. So we figured out one mystery. Now, how we're going to fix that, I have two courses of action that I'd like to actually tackle. And I can't do that right now because we're at the very beginning of a 30-day bad tide. So we won't be able to get in here and fix this right now. But we can come in here. We can rip out all of these ruins in here, and that shouldn't take too long. It's only a few pockets in here. Get 6 to 9, maybe even 10 beavers down here working their tails off, and then we can get all that ripped out, and then we can put in a series of sluices, or a sluice right here, and then that is levied off and just goes out that way, and we cap off some platforms are in there or something, so it just pushes out that way, and so we never have to deal with that problem again. Or if we don't want to waste time doing that, we just blast out a channel this way to funnel the bad tide off this end over here for when that does happen. And then if it's bad water, we'd put like a sluice gate at the beginning of the channel. If it's bad water, it goes that way. If it's good water, it fills into there, and then we don't have this runoff onto this side of the map and causing us to have the poo water in here. That's going to be one thing that we're going to work on today. At least, I hope we can at least start on it, but we'll see how far we get into the episode before this ticks over and that's finally done. Of course, I want to get over here and keep working on this bad Johnny. And we might actually cut into this a little bit further back since we do have a bit of a work area available to us. Or not, based off of the fact that we're only actually putting in tiers over here, and we won't be able to really irrigate this unless we're doing something else to irrigate all of that. But that is one of the projects we're going to get in over here. We're going to fill this in and get this rocking and rolling. Thank you, autosave, for making me think the game is broken, as is usual. But this shouldn't take too long, theoretically. Hopefully everything's in the correct position, so all I have to do is just put in a bunch of our what are they called, bridges, suspension bridges over everything, finish up the last portion up here, and that should go pretty easily. And the third project that I would like to tackle today is actually getting in here and flattening some of this out. As we saw in the last episode when we were dealing with the last dredges of the drought and or bad tide that we were dealing with at the time, we had pockets of water in here that were basically unusable to us. And I would like to get in here and clean up this piece of real estate so that we don't have these pockets. Now that's going to increase our total volume of storage in here, which will be nice, which means theoretically we shouldn't have that much water going up here and running off. And I would like to actually prevent that. I want to capture more of that water. So that also means that I want to get in here and blast this out and probably block this off and just let the water flow this way and then maybe loop back in or something. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, I do want to have this available to us because this is how we're going to feed our water into our top level here that will provide our irrigation to this entire system. So we'll have a small river that's going to run up and through How that's going to look, I haven't figured that out yet, but we'll get there when we get there. So, that all being said, let's go ahead and we'll get the game back up and running where it belongs on 3x speed. We're going to get in here and actually we're going to start working on getting some of our suspension bridges and everything rocking and rolling over here, and that should be relatively simple. Well, that will let our beavers do something productive with their hands for a minute. I did actually go in over top of that this over here and put in some more dynamite. I put in the stairs for them so they can actually get down there and continue to blast this down. I don't anticipate this actually providing us much in the way of total water storage, but if we can get a little bit more water back in here, that'll be awesome. That means we can keep this irrigated longer and not be heavily reliant upon this reservoir, which feeds this area. It also feeds this area. It feeds this area, and so on and so forth. So if we can be not so heavily reliant on that over there, that would be fantastic. So we're going to let them keep on working on that, and we're going to try and dope as much of this out as we can. With what we have already pre-fragged. The problem with that is, of course, we don't really have much real estate to work with, and I'm kind of not exactly thrilled with how this has to be built. I really wish there were an easier way to build this. Now, if we were playing, and I always go back to this, if we were playing on the Iron Teeth, I would just build a series of tubeways over the top of the system, and they would just build it all from the top down, and I wouldn't have to do this whole rigmarole of running up and down and around and left and right and throwing in a bunch of bridges here and there and making a huge mess of everything. But alas, we are still not playing on the Iron Teeth. So, beggars can't be choosers. Alright. Okay. We're going to rip that out, actually. We're going to put this in right here, and then we're going to do something like this. I don't know if that actually helped anything. Maybe it did. I don't know. Here. There. That'll work. And then we can put a suspension bridge right here. Probably not the most efficient use of space, but it'll be something for them to work on. We can actually put this in here, and then they can work on a little bit more. So that'll give them something to do. I'll probably come over here and drop the priority on this a tad bit, because I'm not too worried about blasting this out right now, because, well, there's only so much water in here in the first place, and there's not much. I'm not going to be able to store any more in here anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. We'll let that be a lower priority. That should make things a little bit easier. I did throw in a couple of these bad Johnnies so we can move some dynamite and some extract up here to make their lives a little bit easier. On the extract note, however, I did notice that we are lacking in the actual production line of extract, so I wanted to throw in a couple more centrifuges in here. Probably 4 might be a good idea, just to match up with the number of bots that we do have available to us. We will give this a minor bump as far as priorities are concerned, so that should not take that long for them to get over there and rock that out for us. Now, whether or not that's going to be beneficial to us has yet to be determined. Now, on this front over here, I wanted a couple things to actually get accomplished on this end. So obviously, dirt is going to be nice because that allows us to plant more up here. The other thing that this lets us do is it also allows us to... Where's that outflow? Right there. It also allows us to put in a couple dirt storages in here as well. Now I want to make sure that we still have enough in the way to provide a little bit of irrigation. I don't know if this is really necessary to have that little cutout right there. We'll see. I'll have it in there in the first anyway. But I want to put back in here some more log storage. So we're going to put in some more of these underground piles. And that will be quite nice. And that means putting in this right here so we can have a path over the top of that. which would be nice. And theoretically, they should be able to stand on top of that and then build over to this terrain block, which would allow them to then build that one and stand on and build over and over. So theoretically, that should work. If it doesn't, that stinks. Anyway, that's what we're going to work with. Now let's check on this. That is full now officially. Let's check on this. Go ahead and swap these guys over. I forgot these were 2 furs instead of 1 fur. See what I did there? Something 2 furs because they're beavers. I'll see myself out. I don't feel bad about that. Anyway, let's see about getting some more storage underneath here. That means, can we put this under here, and can we put this out like that? No, we cannot. But we can, however, do something like that. And that means that we can put this. Nope, nope, I did not want to do that. Pause, pause, pause. Go ahead and rip that out real quick. And that means that we can put this back on. We can come in here, grab this, rip that out along that side. And how do I want to actually... I want to have enough storage in here to provide a little bit more than that, honestly. Well, we can actually get in here and place this down right there as that, maybe? Let me just do that. And then this. This is probably excessive, ridiculous, and unnecessary, and I can't even place that there because there's a zip line in the way, which I don't believe needs to be there in the first place, so we're going to go ahead and remove that and remove that. And probably if we want to actually connect that, we'll raise that or put that over here or something. Because this is not needed right now. It's going to irk me to have that unconnected building logo there for a hot minute, but it's okay. I'm willing to accept that for a hot minute. And of course, we're still 1 shy. I despise this. Okay, that's where that comes into play. We'll just toss that in right there. We rip this one out right now. We go ahead and put this in right here. Somehow move it forward 1 on accident, and then that goes like that. Now, the reason why I'm trying to avoid putting anything down here anymore is because I want to actually get in here and blast some of this out, which means I also would like to get in there somehow and get down here, which we already have a zipline station available to us down here, which means theoretically we could put in a zipline pylon right here to then connect that station to here, and then in turn connect that one to there, and that gives us access to this area to work in. We just need to autosave. I swear you're going to give me a heart attack. Okay, I'm gonna need you to stop that. We just need to give them a way up there, which means zooming in a little bit to see how deep this is. Is that a double in there? Yes, okay, and then that's a set of stairs right here. And we might have to throw in a path or 2 just to get access to that. Cool. So that's in, that's good. They got a lot of this knocked out for us, so that's good. We can actually rip all of these out now. Rip all of that out, and go ahead and rip this out as well. So that'll be good. Now we can grab our path here and just rip that across. I don't know why they didn't build that. Okay, probably because they needed to build that pillar, finish building that pillar. So we need one here, and then probably one here. So that should be relatively simple. We'll go ahead and do that right there. Rip that around, throw this in here. Do the same here, do the same here, and then I guess here, maybe? I don't know. Get our staircase in. Yeah. Another suspension bridge. Suspension bridge, and then stairs. For all of my friends, and that should be relatively simple for them to work towards. And that's all connected like such as, and I'll give them something to work towards. Now this, they have been slowly working on this over here just because they've ran out of other things to do. They are getting this in here now though, so that is good to see. Water's still kind of poopy in here, but we don't have anybody actually going in there. And everything is still nice and irrigated, so I'm not too upset about this. Now, I am still upset by the fact that there's poo water in here, okay? Don't get me wrong. That still irks me to no end. Can I connect you? I can connect you. Haha. This is getting built, so that's good. They just need to slap it once more, or maybe twice more. Maybe bump that up priority-wise so that I can get rid of that unconnected building notification. This is going to take them a minute to get knocked out. What we can do, and this is probably ridiculous, is to put in a double there. Is that right? Yes. A double explosive there, and then we put in a overhang 2x1 right there, and then we put the 1x6 across, and then we can have 2 layers deep of our large tanks. I do need to set these to be something, so you will be bad water, you will also be bad water, you will be extract, you will also be extract, and then on the other side we can put in more of our catalyst and biofuel, because we will need that as we increase our total bot party something or another. Sweet. So that's in, that's good, that's boomed, that's amazing. This goes like that, which is even more amazing. And then we rip that out like that. And that puts us on the right line to put this in right here, which means that we can then put this in right there, if it would let me, like that. And then we put in another couple sets of storages like such as. And this side, like I said, we're going to do catalyst, biofuel. Nice. We'll let them work on that for the next 6 to 9 days or whatever, or however long it takes them to knock that out. That'll be fine. That'll be huge. That'll be Gucci. I still would like to get over here and actually take advantage of this platform that I've crafted for myself that I've never actually done anything with, but it's okay. One of these days I'll figure out what I'm going to do with this. I know I wanted to put a bunch of industry over here, like bot production and all that other fun stuff, but then this whole thing took off and it became kind of the better hub. So, maybe we'll move this production over here because that kind of makes sense, so we're not moving our scrap metal halfway around the world to actually get it taken care of. But that means I need to run power over here, which shouldn't be that big of a pain in the butt. It would be kind of a big pain in the butt, but I think it'd be worth it, honestly. And it shouldn't be that hard. We just run it through here and then up and down and through here. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. This, these are all full, actually. That's kind of crazy. Still have a bot that's not got something to do with his hands, but that's okay. We'll figure out something for them to do sooner rather than later. I'm sure I'll figure something out for them to actually get to work on. This is in, so that is beautimous. I love to see it. This can come out, so that means that that's cleared up now. We can also come in here and get this portion knocked out, which means doing something like that, and then tossing this. Probably don't need that big of a one. That should work just fine. We could probably tear this out now, and I do need to actually continue to build the rest of this out. So I'm going to build the rest of this out as well as finish blasting the rest of this down. So we can have a little bit more real estate, and that also means blasting some of this out right here, which should not be that big of an issue. And then we will actually continue to, need to go 2 more back here. So I'm going to pause myself here and finish the, the the chaos on that end and get rock and rolling. So I'll see you here in a second.
Timber, the sun rises higher. It's hard and haze in here. He works us to the bone. Build it higher. You know that he's got a plan, but it don't matter. We're here for the damn in his eyes. You can see. He's gone mad. Bigger and bigger. Now the tower is all that we see. But don't stop, work faster. And don't you worry about the heat. He's on the platform. The storm has come. It's starting to rain. And he knows what he's done. He can't leave the town. Stacking up the timber. The sun rises higher. It's hotter than haze in here. He works us to the bone. Build it higher. You know that he's got a plan, but it don't matter. We're here for the damn in his eyes. You can see it. He's gone mad. He's gone mad. He's gone mad. Stacking up the timber, the sun rises higher. It's hotter than Hades in here. He works us to the bone.
All right. That took a little bit longer than I anticipated it would, but that is taken care of. This is in, so that is good to see. That's beautiful. We've got a lot of the poo water out of here too, so that's nice. I love to see that. I kind of want to actually take advantage of this piece of real estate. It is still clean water. We can plant in here, so we might as well take advantage of it while we can. I don't know how good this area is actually going to be as far as providing us total irrigation, but it is still a nice piece of real estate that will provide us with something to work with, which is pretty nice if I do say so myself. Now we're going to blast back in here a little bit. since this forester does have access to a fair portion of this area in here, so we can plant some more stuff, or this guy can't even reach over here. So this will be where we're going to put in our underground piles. Theoretically, we should be able to maybe put in another pile in here. I don't know. Probably not. So that might be a moot point. That may be a wasted bit of explosives and everything, but that's okay. Maybe we can blast a little bit further back. We could put another pile on the back side of that or something. I don't know. We'll work on that when we get to it. So that's fine. We're going to put in some more oak over here. But first, before we do that, I do want to put in a couple more of these for us to work on chopping more of this down. I do have that marked for cutting. We just don't have enough beavers over here to take care of that. So we'll put in a couple, and we'll also toss in an additional, where's it at? Teeth grindstone. Right there for these guys to do teeth grindstone-y things, which would be nice. That'll be Gucci. I think I kind of don't care to have that exploded, but it's okay. They'll blast it out, and I'll do something with it. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Either way, it'll be fine. It'll be okay. We'll get that taken care of. We do want to plant our oak back in here, though, because we do have this area available to us now. We can plant a little bit more. I think you can reach all that. You can. Good. And a good beaver overlord, of course, feeds and waters his beavers, you know. We don't need 2 of those since we don't have coffee on these guys, but we can put in some food over here just for giggles. Why not? So let's go bread. We'll go maple pastry, sure, and crackers. And this will be water, of course. And this side will be grilled chestnuts. Sure. You will, of course, be logs, because that's what we need over here. And I would like to actually probably get in over here and do something like this. Like this. Tear this out. Put this in here. And then put a set of stairs down like that. That should allow us to put in an aquatic farmhouse. Actually, let's pause the game real quick and do this the smarter way. Instead of putting all of that in like that, we do something like this, where we go 3, 3, and then we go 2 here. Not 2 there, 2 here. And then that allows us to put our Bad Johnny on there. And then theoretically still plant underneath our house there. I don't know if that's really worth the squeeze, but it gives us a few more spots to put some more stuff. Now we did need to put in some more of our cattail in here. I want to click on this just to see how much of that we cover, which is all of this real estate, which is really nice. Theoretically, we could cover a little bit more if we put that in right there and we cover down a little bit over there. I kind of don't want that there though, because I would like to put in another aquatic farmhouse to cover this area down here. Don't know if that's going to be worth the squeeze, or we put in something like this. We put in something like this, and then we put another aquatic farmhouse right there. Maybe that's what we do. Because that's what smart people do. That didn't really cover nearly as much real estate as I would like it to have, but it's okay. It will do. And we can put some stairs in right there, and some stairs in right there, and that should provide us a fair bit coverage. And we'll just do cattails over here, like I said before. And that will meet the requirements and all of that, which would be nice. And let's see if I can actually plant this under here. I can't plant it under there. Okay, so that was a moot point. That was a wasted effort, but it's okay. It's fine. Whatever. I thought it'd be cool. Apparently, it ain't worth the effort. My bad. We will, however, swap you over to bots, because we have the bots coming along now. And we'll throw some more bots in there. We have 19 kits rocking and rolling around. And I think we had a few things in the well-being tab that I wanted to actually unlock. And probably get some more of our beavers into doing. because our well-being isn't nearly as high as I would like to be. And I think a lot of this sprawling mess down here needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I don't know how I'm going to actually effectuate that change, honestly. I haven't figured that out yet. That's something for me to think on. That is something for me to think on. Now, this is coming in quite nicely over here. This is fantastic. Things are going in. They are making their way all the way over here, which is nice. They got all of that in. So theoretically, they should be able to get in here. Are we out of dirt? We are out of dirt. This was why I came over here to do this, actually. Let's put that in. These guys are working their tails off, but it doesn't mean anything if, well, it does mean something. We're just burning through it so fast. How much dirt have we burned through? Probably 6 to 9,000. We'll just call it 6 to 9,000 units dirt burned right there. Okay, it might not actually be that much, but that's 2 entire underground piles full of dirt that we've burned through, and then however many times we've been through that. Explosive wise, we're doing okay on extract, or bad water's doing good. Extract is doing okay. So these are filling up nicely, which is really nice. Catalyst is filling in nicely as well. We'll probably get in a storage over here for maple syrup. Yeah, I think we need to change you over so we can keep this running at max capacity. Now, these are all empties, so well, no, there's a few back here. I did want to somehow get some sort of maple syrup storage in here, so maybe that's what we'll do, actually. So we'll tell them to stop planting this here. We'll put in a maple store, or a large storage there. Actually, we'll go ahead and... how am I gaining access into that, actually? How are you guys getting down there? Oh, okay, now I see. So that means that we can just tell them to come rip this out. Wait, we'll give that a max priority so they can come in and knock that out real quick. I don't need it that far back, actually, so we're going to pause there. We're going to tell them to not do this. And then tell them continue to plant those things. I believe that was Spatterdock back here. It was, okay. We'll let them rip that out. That'll be good. That'll be good. That'll be huge. This is nearly empty. So we're learning that 30 days is about the max capacity. This is about to dry out, actually, because these guys have sucked it all out. And of course, this has been filling this in, which is all it has actually been needing to fill in, because this only opens up to fill in this area, which is just providing us with our 1 Lido worth of entertainment down here, which is fine. Which is fine. I'm okay with that. I would like to get that a little bit more. I don't know how we're going to get that done. Maybe we'll just build like a giant swimming area somewhere. We've got all this real estate over here to work with. Maybe we'll make a giant pond and just let them swim in there to our heart's content. Maybe we'll... I don't know... Problem is, I don't have enough water to fill all that in. It's all good. It's fine. We'll get it rectified or figured out at some point. How is this coming along? It's almost done. We're still waiting on dirt. I was waiting on 1 explosive to come in over here, and I just completely neglected it. That's on me. I should not have blasted that as far back as I did. Oops, but that's okay. We're going to come in here and we're going to grab this button, landscaping, dirt excavator, flip that around. That should fit in there quite snugly like that. Then we just toss in 1 platform right here so they can gain access to it. We will grab this path, fill that path in right there. And then we will give this a max priority. Maybe, actually, somehow finagle a way in here as well. So I want to put in probably 3 of these. or another one of these so that we can get another excavator rocking and rolling. So I also want to put in more dirt here, or more underground storage, which means this whole line is kind of awkward and not what I want it to be, but it's okay. We'll get it figured out. Go ahead and plus that up real quick. We'll have them just rip these out for us, which should be okay. We'll give these a plus up just so we're not fighting priorities anywhere else, because I want to get this done. This shouldn't cause a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that shouldn't cause a problem. You need to click on this and change that over to regular, or to the Timberbots as opposed to our beavers, which is what we need. That is good. Let's see, what else do we need? This down here is what we were working on. So let's go ahead and just chuck this in real quick. And I want to put in this large tank right here. And that allows us to put in some maple syrup right there. This will be our supply depot. That'll be good. And was I doing maple? I was doing chestnut down here. Huh. Interesting. That's fine. I kind of want to rip this out right here. Please and thank you. Autosave. I swear you're going to be the death of my sanity. And let's see if we can help out with that a little bit. Don't know if it does or not, but hey, it's something. That's fine. We'll give this a minor plus up. They are already working on it. Does that mean that they are almost done with this? No, it doesn't, because they're still waiting on dirt. Dirt is still a limiting factor for that entire build over there, which is kind of stinky. That's fine, though. This is in, so we are pumping out dirt. Every 2 hours, we get another 6 units of dirt, which is Gucci. They did come up here and tear all that out, so that is good. I do want to come in here and blast this down 2 levels, starting here and back. Yeah, that should be fine. I think, maybe, hopefully. Theoretically, that should be fine. I hope. I don't know. We'll see. If it's not, then we'll fix it. We have the technology. We could fix it. Man, this bat tide's taken 5,000 years to go through. 5,000 years. I do want to get some more log storage going in. They did put this in over here, so that's nice. They blasted this out, which did nothing for us because I thought I could actually get it to fit in there. Apparently that's what I get for thinking, and I accept full responsibility for that. These are in, so that's nice. You're in, so now we can actually start planting some more of our cattail in here. Click on the cattail button, please. Thank you. So those bots can get in there and plant some of that stuff out for us. I inadvertently hit the exact range that I could reach. I did the same again. I will take that. So that'll fill up our cattail storage a little bit more, which would be nice, even though it's already maxed out. We could probably do with some more storage for all of that. We do need to plus up our potato production, though. I'm noticing, and carrots. So potatoes and carrots, which is going to happen up here. We're going to do potatoes and carrots on this level here. Yes, potatoes and carrots, and then trees again, and then we'll do more food stuff on top, potentially. Dirt is moving in a little bit faster now. Technically, a little bit faster now. Go over here, check this out. They're slowly putting this in. They're fighting priorities elsewhere, but theoretically, this should not take too long for them to knock out. Once that gets in, we can start chucking in some more storage. We could actually go ahead and put in one piece right there. That will be dirt. And you will be a supply depot. And that'll be nice. I could actually fill this in with dirt, actually. Yeah, let's fill that in. And I want this to be singletons right there. That should be fine. Let's go ahead and give this a priority bump. All of this a priority bump. I don't know if that's actually going to be what I wanted to do, so we'll go ahead and rip that out real quick. We'll let them continue to place all that. We'll grab up all those gears here shortly, but that'll be fine. What was the other thing that I was going to work on? This was what I wanted to do there. I've got that all in, so that's good. That is doing that stuff. This is all in. This didn't actually dry up nearly as fast as I thought it would, so that is good. Now we can chuck in one last piece right there. I don't want to blast through and down and create a massive mess somewhere. I'm just going to check to make sure that we're not going to do that. Okay. Does that mean we're good? I hope that means we're good, because we're going to cause a big mess if we're not good. This is fine. Everything's fine. What are you? Carrots. Carrots, 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 carrots. Okay, so we do need to get this moving a little bit faster. Now, to be fair, carrots doesn't really provide us much in the way. We need potatoes and sunflower seeds and carrots. This is a huge piece of real estate. This down here is a rather huge piece of real estate, so that'll actually provide us a good chunk of foodstuffs to produce everything on, so I'm not too concerned and or upset by this. So that'll be cool. That'll be Gucci. I should actually start working on getting some more of this taken care of for our guys so they can get back here. That just needs a path to it. And they can finish that off. And that they just need to clean up this monstrosity that I've crafted for them. And then if I also give them a path back into here, they should be able to just work this out from this side, and then they can meet up on this side without any issue, allegedly. We'll see, one way or the other. I think that'll work. That'll be beautiful. And then the last thing, the last layer, I'll probably do off camera, maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Just so that, or we'll do another build montage. I like build montages. They're fun. They're not fun to edit sometimes, but you know what? That's okay. Yeah, it's okay. We're playing with beavers, and we're having a good time while playing with our beavers. Who's going to complain about that? I surely am not. I surely am not. Oh, I forgot to do this over here. That's what I wanted to do. So we connected this. That's all in. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to blast this stuff out. So we need to actually work on all this. So that is blasting as much of this out as possible so we can have more water storage down here. And I think we might even fill this hole in just a little bit so that it is not an issue for our beavers in the future. That means that you get to be doubles up here, though. I'll have to find a way up there for you guys. That's singles across the board for you. Singles down there. We could probably bring some more explosives into here for them to work with, but they're fine for now. Actually, they've got explosives and extract right there. So they're totally fine. They can just run back and forth right there. Sweet. I inadvertently did something smart for once, okay? For once, okay? I'm not claiming to have done something smart for all of the things, but it's working, okay? And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Hopefully I didn't accidentally put something on the other side. I did. I don't think they can do anything with that. That's okay. I did not realize that these oaks were over here and drying out. That sucks. Well, yeah, of course they're drying out because there's no more water on this side. We've got 3 days left. theoretically, that's not enough water to actually keep all that irrigated. That's going to be bad. We're going to lose some of our water crops. That stinks. That stinks a lot. And this is, of course, all empty and everything like that. How do I store more water? Well, I'm attempting to do that right now. Theoretically. But this is not really going to help out that much, honestly. This really isn't going to help out that much. Okay. Is this connected? It is not connected. Let's connect this here. Connect this like that. Grab this path. Reach down like that. And then do we want to do that? Maybe, maybe not. Just go ahead and fill this in right here. I don't know if this is going to be the answer that I want it to be, but it's an answer. And there's nothing wrong with having an answer. And if it's not the correct answer and we need to work on something else somewhere else, then that is fine. We will have to get down here, though, to plant some of this. There goes our water. There goes everything drying out on us. And I don't really have the means to come in here and pump this full of water because we're down to only 10k units of water. Interesting. And we've still got 2.5 days left. This is all going to dry out in one day. Let's see if we can get these guys to focus on pulling stuff. I don't know if that's really going to work or help with anything, honestly. We're not losing all of our wheat. We're losing a portion of our wheat, which really stinks. We might actually do something ridiculous and play with game mechanics or something along those lines. Okay, that should work. And tune up some of this stuff. Oh, how that's gonna work for us. This should fit. Or not. That's fine. Everything's fine. Give this a priority. Get that in. They are working their tails off over here, so that's good to see. Go ahead and give them a path over here so they can work on all of that. I need to give them stairs down here so they can get up and around all of that, which means a path through here, down here. Shouldn't need anything up there, but we will go ahead and chuck in a set of stairs right here to gain access to all of that. We'll go ahead and grab these dynamite right here. And then put in singletons back here and fill all of this back here at doubles. And what I'm going to do is say goodbye as we continue to place all of this stuff in here. We'll do all that. I'll let them finish the rest of this out, and then we'll say goodbye, shall we? I like that idea. So, a little bit of dynamite all the way across and all the way around, and we'll click on this button. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did, please hit that like button. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I would appreciate that as well. We are encroaching on that mythical 1,000. It's amazing. It's exciting. It makes me happy in my face hole to have you all along the ride with me. And yeah, do appreciate each and every one of you who have, of course, hit that button. And it's been a pleasure to have you along. But I'm gonna get out of here. I need to go get some more Mountain Dew, and I need to record another episode after this, so it's gonna be great. You guys have a fantastic day wherever you're in the world. Make sure you guys stay nice and thirsty, nice and hydrated. Keep rocking in the free world. We'll catch you all in the next episode of There's Not Enough Water to Go Around. I'm out. See ya.
My beavers must work to excavate a reservoir a week before the end of much water as possible. Beaver King, chop down every tree. A reservoir is everything, it's everything. Beaver King, dig down as deep as you can. Water's life and the Beaver King's in demand, in demand, in demand. We built a wooden army, all of us, all of us. We dug until we couldn't breathe, all of us, all of us. We pushed until our backs were weak, all of us, all of us. A week before the end of the temperate cycle, to save as much water as possible.